So then I go into the dark room and I develop 2 rolls of film first, because there are 8 altogether.
And this is the Ginsbergs?
And that's in the hypo. And Linda calls. And she tells me to write this all out.
Well, you hadn't written anything before this?
No.
Oh my God.
I said, I don't know that I could remember it all.
Turns out.
I saw a book in a bookstore called Peter HUJAR'S Day, and it was a publication of a transcript of a conversation that took place in 1974 between the photographer Peter HUJAR and his friend Linda Rosenkrantz.
The idea came to me of asking people to write down what they did a day that they would choose themselves, and then meet with me the next day. The first 2 was Peter and Chuck Close, but I always had the transcripts.
I had the feeling that I'd done nothing but gotten up, photographed Allen Ginsberg, developed the film, and that was it. I often have a feeling that in my day nothing much happens, that I've wasted it.
Well, now you know.
I've wasted another day.
That's why I'm doing this, actually. To find out how people fill up their days. Because I myself feel like I don't do much of anything all day.
Oh, you should do it.
I'm going to.
Started seeing Peter's work and have really felt close to it. What I like about this text, it seems very ordinary, like a guy describes his day.
So I get my camera stuff together, and I have to decide what coat to wear to the Lower East Side. And somehow I think I'll wear my long, whatever it is, coat. And I leave with that, but then I decide, no, it's wrong. And I don't quite know what the criterion is here, but it just didn't feel the coat to wear to the Lower East Side to meet Allen Ginsberg.
Peter HUJAR was quite extraordinary as a narrator. It's not something anyone I know, or almost anyone I've ever met, could do with the amount of detail and density that he does. What the text has, and I noticed that immediately, was an incredible intimacy. I felt like I was there at a different time, and I felt like I was part of this dialogue and also witness to this beautiful friendship between Linda and Peter. It's kind of the best form of biography because a world is revealed, but in a grain of sand.
That's what happened. That's the way it happened.
I had the idea pretty much as I turned the page that I should make something of this with Ben, who I was working with at the time. I felt like we share a lot of sensibilities, we share an interest in this history of queer artists in New York City and the avant-garde and people taking risks.
You know, I've always had a star thing, wanting to be some kind of a star or a star. I would like my work to stand above that. I would like my work to stand about that my work could stand so all by itself without a single star in it.
Well, it could.
It's a conversation that took place over one afternoon, but we've turned it into 33 scenes. So it's a very simple, boundaried project that we then exploded. As a filmmaker, I wanted to make a film about pleasure, and I didn't want to make a film about truth. In the beginning of the film, when you see the clapper, I want to say this is not real. This is an imagination, and this is a movie. It's not 1974. This is not Peter HUJAR. This is not Linda Rosenkrantz. We're constructing something. And by the way, Ben and Rebecca are both British. So for me, that was already moving away from a kind of realism that I'd been more engaged in. They were constructing characters. Number of very personal, handheld films that were made between an artist and a subject were kind of my inspiration and permission. And I think of Jim McBride making a wonderful film called My Girlfriend's Wedding.
I met her last October, about a month after she'd come to the States. And the day after I met her, she didn't have a place to stay. And so I said, well, why don't you come stay with me?
That was like a light bulb went off in my mind, that I could use ellipses to get us through spaces. And that spaces, particularly in a kind of personal cinema, didn't need to be arrived at in traditional narrative form, but could be a jump cut between here and there and here and there.
I set the clock for 11:30, and I fall right asleep.
What a life.
I stay in bed till 11:45, and then I put my clothes on.
I thought you hadn't taken them off.
Oh, I guess I didn't. I just lied.
The film is a film about portraiture. And it's also a film about cinematic portraiture and the ways in which the camera can be used unexpectedly to bring us closer to a kind of intimate revelation of the individual.
There's a relationship to the subject of the portrait. There's a relationship in the viewer and the gaze.
So there was a desire to sort of show the changing of time and to think about a day in the context of this film about a day. And also what was interesting to me is I placed the actors in different spaces at different times, but not in connection to the text itself. Suddenly it becomes a film about how does space and light impact how people talk. If we were having this conversation like outside, it would be totally different. The fact that the scene on the bed towards the end of the film where they're talking about Joan Crawford and Bette Davis has this kind of playful intimacy is because it's on the bed at night with a light. The realities of the photographic portrait determine the tone of the material. There's certain things that are HUJAR'S, particularly how people sit on couches and sit on beds in the film. That is certainly a kind of repose that is very HUJAR-like. Ultimately, I felt that there were these, I called them studio shots, these sort of moments that are not even part of the text and not part of the moment between them, which are, in a way, further just making the whole thing an object of images. And what I found is that those moments, it seems to me for the audience, it says like, oh, wake up. You don't know what you're watching yet. And it both takes you out and then maybe brings you back in a different way.
I found it such a fascinating task, precisely because it's not written, because it's actually someone's words.
But it was really beautiful as well to have time with someone's words, because how people actually speak is so fascinating, don't you think? And very rarely actually explored in cinema, like the articulacy but also the inarticulacy of things and just how we actually speak. It became very fascinating to me as I was learning it.
I don't know why, whether it was tension or why was one film blown? What's that a sign of? How much of the tape is gone already?
A third.
I don't know whether to give more or less detail.
It's good.
Okay. So was it boring? Or?
No, it's not boring to me.
So then Bob Money calls. He does indexing. But he's a piano player.
It made me think about how much of life is about recalling things. I mean, so much of conversation with people, with anyone, is about telling them about something that happened to you. You know, telling your partner about the day or telling your mum about something on the phone. It's so banal, but so fascinating, I think.
And I walked home.
What time is it about?
I don't know. It's still light. Maybe 4.
There is that sense of a time capsule of a moment in New York, but also it's not. It's like any time capsule. It feels like just the recounting of the things that happen in the day is wanting to have a time capsule of that moment. And then we want to have the time capsule of this art. And then we're also left with this feeling of like we can't hold on to anything. And that's why we have film, actually, so we can hold on to something.
The film draws attention to the moment. It's like the only thing I want in cinema is to capture the moment. And to capture, as part of the word, is a recognition that it won't last, like it's over.
Just seeing Rebecca playing Linda Rosencrantz is quite a trip. And it brings back my feelings for Peter very strongly. The intimacy of it, the love that I had for him. So it's very moving to me each time.
I went to Phoebe's. And he showed me a picture of himself. It's quite beautiful. He pulled out this picture. He said, "Look at this." And he put it about a foot away from my face. That was when I realized, strange. Used to be able to look at things that close.
Didn't you think we'd just be exempt from all these things?
I never gave it a thought.
No, I never thought these things would happen.
I don't think Peter knew he would die in his early 50s. I have been inspired by Peter's resilience, both in '74 and then throughout his life. He died way too young of AIDS, and so he's one of the artists who lived through that period and made art in that period. So there is an honor to him. And it's certainly the story that I would say Rebecca and I are telling with the film, which is observing someone who is so alive, who is not going to live for very long. And I think a lot of the sorrow in the film is an awareness of that vulnerability, temporality, and finality. People have told me that they're crying at this film, and this isn't a film that you expect that, but I think that there is this well of feeling between these two people that gets really energized in the last scene of the film, which is a film about the end of the night, but it's also a moment to some extent about the end of a life.